Welcome back, my dearest friends. Welcome back to ever so amazing something is something. Welcome back to Turn-Based Chronicles, where I am playing specific beautiful turn-based games by one mission, one scenario, one love. And this time I have to talk about one of the greatest series of all time, turn-based fantasy strategy series of all time, my dearest Age of Wonders series. Not just a game, not just a beautiful sexy game, but ultimate sexy, ultra awesome, beautiful Age of Wonders series, because all the goddamn games in Age of Wonders are amazing, and I just bought this beautiful gem. And my god, I mean, I have been playing, well, I had tried the game when it was released in 2014, and I was like mind blown, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy this when I can, if I can, and whatever. So I didn't touch the game for years, and I've seen of course, the expansion packs. I've seen what they added. Amazing, of course. You know, the funny thing, I'm saying expansion packs. Triumph Studio is one of my favorite studios of all time, considering they have made the greatest series of all goddamn time, Age of Wonders. And they're keeping at it, mind you. They made Overlord games. I'm not a fan of that. But my god, did they make them one of the greatest turn-based strategy series of all time to me. And that's a fantasy that I enjoy, the universe that I enjoy, the lore that I enjoy of what I know about it. And mind you, I never finished any of the campaigns of the original game. I played mostly on scenarios and all that, though I am doing the sexy Age of Wonders thing, where I'm playing the first one, then I'm going to be playing the second one, then the Shadow Magic campaigns, and of course onto the Age of Wonders. With Julia's daughter, of course. Now, I mean, honestly, like, guys, you can believe, like, I was like, GOG on sale, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna fucking buy it. It's almost New Year's and all that bullshit, and I was like, hell's bells, let's make it official. It's gonna be like, holy crap, I'm gonna do Age of Wonders 3 finally and make a video of it. And I got a deluxe edition. Why I got a deluxe edition is the reason, one and only, of course, Triumph Studio, as I said, the greatest fucking turn-based goddamn studio out there for making turn-based beautiful sexy game. I just mind-blowing. But I also got it from all the little things that GOG actually adds to the game compared to Steam, because usually I have more games on Steam than I have on GOG. But the thing about GOG games, I prefer to have older games and GOG new games on Steam. But in this case, I was like, oh look, deluxe edition, beautiful stuff. I'm getting that. You know, you get the beautiful music by, of course, the greatest composer of evil, Michiel who does such an amazing soundtracks for, well, did some beautiful parts on the soundtrack of the Deus Ex, of Unreal and Unreal Tournament. He did, of course, the full soundtrack of Age of Wonders 1, full soundtrack of Age of Wonders 3, and the expansion packs, which you actually get all the soundtrack from the expansion packs. You get the beautiful, whatever, the Fallen Lords, or Lords of the Fallen, or how it's called, the last expansion, which adds 3 actual factions, which is actually 2 factions. And while all the expansions are really much needed, you know, they add quite a bit more layers to the onion rings, which are actually onion. Well, one onion, which is actually has more layers than the one ring of onion, but who cares? Anyway, the point is, they had a lot, but I didn't buy them. I'm gonna start just with the basic, and then towards the end of the year, I'm gonna jump into if Destiny allows, I'm gonna jump into getting the first and foremost the Hobbits. And then I'm gonna get that last expansion pack that adds like Tigrants, adds the beautiful Frostlings, which are my favorite race in the original games, and of course adds the Necromancer class, which makes the Necromancer race, so to speak, though any race can become the undead. So there is that, and they all have their own models, and all those are those little things. And I'm talking so much about it before we enter the game, because there's so much to talk about, considering that this is, alongside, when you think about it like this, I have my favorite World 2 RTS game is Silent Strike. My favorite real-time strategy in classical sense, I guess, you know, the Age of Empires kind of category, my number 1 is Cossacks. now Cossacks 3, which is amazing, right? Saying that after so many years you gain games that are fucking amazing, proper games with, you know, just proper motherfucking games for proper audiences. And of course now we have Age of Wonders 3, which is again like, oh my god, amazing fucking game in every sense, no dumbing down of anything, and like just mind-blowing experience in its own right. And I'm like, fucking let's do it, finally make a goddamn video for it, as I am a massive fucking fan. There is no other turn-based strategy game out there that makes me so happy to play. Mind you, Heroes of Might and Magic 4 is my favorite in Heroes genre, you know, Heroes genre in Heroes category. That number 4 is my ultimate. But when it comes to Age of Wonders, the entire series is the best one. You don't have number 1 spot for it. It's the ultimate. The entirety is number 1 spot. So here we go. We're gonna be beginning with the new scenario, mind you, because we have the beautiful Deluxe Edition. And Demon is Love, of course, and of course we have the Deluxe Edition. We get the beautiful one actual scenario, which I'm kind of disappointed. You get one scenario, like you know, like giving me 58 scenarios. I'm gonna be GG for Demon, but it's okay. I don't judge Triumph. I don't judge. You're fucking amazing and sexy like a beast. You know, like you're the greatest. You're gonna have my personal sexy spot in hell, so it's all good for you guys. But that's not the point. We're gonna go into a new scenario, start building our stuff, mind you, and that's gonna be awesome. Let's go on to a new scenario. Now, mind you, there is also, of course, the random map generator. We're not gonna go into the random map generator because I said I usually for this turn-based Chronicles, I do one scenario for one damnable game, turn-based whatever game. I have done kind of too much for Panzer Corps. Too many missions, to be honest. In that one kind of broke that flow, but before that, the very first episode of the turn-based one was and is, of course, the Age of Wonder Shadow Magic scenario. There's one scenario, wintry scenario. It was an awesome scenario playing with Frostlings. And my god, of course, we're gonna do it now in Age of Wonders 3, no less. So Dragon Throne is your DLC thingy that you get, that one scenario, and their Deluxe Edition DLC. 8 players, and that's not the one that we're gonna be going for because it's too hot for Demon, and let's be honest, it's a winter season. Let's do the wintry stuff, right? Of course, Demon, of course. Now there are a bunch of beautiful, we have small, medium, large, medium, large maps. We have a lot of stuff, but I'm actually thinking maybe from Return of the Ancients, that of course they have their own thing. Shattered Empires. Which one was the actual mirror pack? This is the one I want to go with. Because I'm gonna be utilizing my own hero, which I created a bunch of fancy sexy heroes. I want to utilize my own hero, and I'm gonna actually have a motherfucking ally, and which is an awesome from the get-go, the Dwarven King of Awesome something. Good stuff. So this is gonna be the map. It's a mirror thingy. The lands of Symmetris, the wizard now long gone, have lain uncontested for many years. Now two sides carve dominance over this strange land. Key to gaining the upper hand is the strange link between the independent mirror cities. Fight alongside your ally and vanquish the opposing mirror pact. As you can see, this is like a, 2v2, but honestly I think you can go free for all. In general, for most scenarios, like in previous game, you can just choose your own thing and, you know, your own race. Well, not really in Age of Wonders 1, but you can just choose on which side you're gonna go in Age of Wonders 1. Age of Wonders 2, actually, you're allowed to choose your own race, create your own hero, create whatever you wanna do with it, though, to be honest, that was also in Age of Wonders 1, specifically the hero point. So, in Age of Wonders 3, of course, it's gonna be kind of a very interesting. You see, it's a team battle. It's a mirror city raising, which means you capture this one city, the other city on the enemy side is gonna go poof. Who is first? He gains the city. Of course, you can create your own cities, I believe. Probably you're not gonna be restricted to that, but still, getting already a proper city, kind of might be a little bit more upgrade than the regular string. You would gain the village, the first village you would make. But hell's bells. So let's go on to the select of this very amazing thing, very amazing thing. We're gonna go, and of course these are the basics. That is the basic units, and I guess lore-friendly factions, and of course lore-friendly heroes, if you will. But there will be our ally, because we are on the number 1 theme. The number 2, we're gonna have a Goblin Sorcerer, and Liana as a High Elf Warlord. Of course, you can see all the little things they have as a skill thingies. It would seem that the Botadir is very evil. He is an evilishly aligned person. He's a destruction master. He can disintegrate foes, plunder cities, kill your enemy population, wreak havoc upon the lands. Transforms a standard mana node into a destruction node, which provides an additional 5 research. Okay, destruction nodes generate an additional 5 research. Creation nodes generate 5 less mana, which is great for them, maybe not. But anyways, I'm gonna be making with my own. We're gonna be playing on the Emperor difficulty. And mind you, this is not about winning. This is about winning maybe. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. I don't care. I never played on this biggest difficulty in any of the Age of Wonders games, specifically in these skirmish matches, if you will, in scenario matches, at least not that I remember. But still, we're going to be playing the biggest difficulty, and of course there's a lot of options as per usual, as in all of them. You have the classical turns or simultaneous turns. I prefer classical turns, that's just me, but you can see the simultaneous turns, which are actually much more preferable, I guess, from what I hear in multiplayer matches. I personally never had a multiplayer match in my life for Age of Wonders games, never found people for it, but hell's bells. Turn timer, I'm not gonna care for that. Again, teams, again, it's pretty much, yeah, teams, allied victory. It's I guess scenario specific. So there you go. You can customize leaders, defaults, random, and just select the leader you want. So like, we're gonna customize a leader. To be honest, we're gonna just select the leader that I want. But hell, I'm gonna just keep it on. This is a kind of a default thing for me anyway. Include AI leaders if you want to customize the other leaders. I'm not gonna I'm just gonna keep them as they are. I want to see how they fight, and it's gonna be interesting to see it in general. So again, tactical combat mode against humans, against the AI. Always ask if you just want to choose automatic or you want to manually just fight the battle. We're gonna always go manually unless really odds are really for us. But again, probably manual thing will be always the thing I will be going with. Of course, you have the advanced rule sets, which again give you the speed of the game, how fast it's gonna go. It's gonna be normal for me as always. Then we have the starting resources. They're gonna be standard. We don't, to be honest, we don't have that random. I like having, like, when it comes to certain things, I like having like also a random option. So I just have the randomized thing. So I just leave everything on random, and what we give is what we get, and that's good stuff. The good stuff, or should I say, what we get is what we give, or what they give us is what we get. Who cares? The point is, it's gonna be on standard. Starting skills, normal. Which is okay, I'm fine with it. It's just, as it says, how many skills you start with already researched. Having more starting skill increases game speed, of course. We'll leave it to normal. We're gonna slowly slowly build up towards things, as this is, again, all of these are the default things for everything. All heroes have resurgence. Determines if and when heroes have resurgence. I have no idea what the resurgence really is. Can't say about that. Defender strength, of course, defender of on structure. I'm guessing this is overall defender strength on thingies, specifically like you have the neutral creature shit. I'm thinking that's the thing. Could be wrong. Usually am. So there you go. There's that. Of course, we have a maximum number of heroes you can have at any time in the game. You can go up to 20 heroes in the game. We're gonna leave it on 5. 6, let's go 5. That's a lot of heroes on the map. I don't know if there is a restriction how many units you can actually have on the map. Like in Heroes of Might and Magic 4, for instance, you have like specific amount of units you can have on the overall map. A maximum hero level 20. That's a default one. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna for now leave the defaults as they are. Really, map exploration, of course, city founding. When a city founding is turned off, you cannot found a new city. Well, you cannot found new cities. You can still produce sellers to rebuild race cities, but we're gonna leave it as is. Random heroes match player race. Usually you just gain different kind of races, peoples in these, and maybe that's not gonna work well with your man. You know, it's all about the morale thing, and all it is the morale thing. You have everything, a lot of beautiful, sexy stuff. And of course, force high-speed tactical combat, which I'm not ever gonna utilize. Thank you very much. So we're gonna just go cancel. We already know all that good stuff. Emperor stuff, demon is gonna be amazing. Now let's go on to the better thing, which is of course always the most important thing, is choosing your hero, no less. We're gonna choose our heroes. Of course, you have that library of usually all these heroes. I think are that is campaign-specific heroes. You even have Julia. You have her daughter here. Also, but let's find Julia. There you go, Julia, House of Enoch. That is the, of course, she is the main protagonist in the original games. You play, well, you don't really play as her, but in first two you find her, you meet her and all that bullshit, I think, but in the Shadow Magic you actually play as her. But still, she is the most, I guess, titular character in the game. You would usually see her on every box and all that. But anywho, we'll play as a custom hero, and I made a few heroes. We have Demon is Love, which is Demon is Love, amazing Draconian. But that's what I'm gonna play. We're gonna be playing as Conan Lion of Aquilonia, because of course I'm a massive Robert E. Howard fan. I loved always as a kid. I read the goddamn old comic books. Conan comic books. I read the Dark Horse comic books, which I would always say go for it. They are amazing. And of course we're going to play as him. Of course, now this is again a beautiful thing. I'm not going to go into anything because this is him. This is what he is. This is what he has. He is a human. So again, humans are flexible race with no real strengths or weaknesses. Humans are master sailors. Their units do not suffer penalty from fighting in border transports. Many human units use nets to paralyze their opponents in battle. And there, of course, you can see exactly what terrain they like, what dislike, what they hate. So they like fertile plains, dislike subterranean, hate blighted and volcanic, which of course volcanics really go with the draconian race. And of course bonus cities plus 10 of the production and mariner. There you go. Okay, so as a specific class, we are warlord class. A very powerful conventional armies. Bonuses to cavalry, infantry and pikemen. Strong gold income and cheaper units. Weak magical spells. So there you go. Good stuff indeed. Now of course these are specific skill sets, I guess, if you will call it like that. So we have creation, adapt. As follower creation you have a power to rejuvenate the lands, protect and heal your troops and oppose the unnatural. Creational generators an additional plus 5 mana. We are also expander. Expander have the tools to grow their empire quicker and bigger. Farms and springs of life generate an additional 50 population growth. Corrupted farms and corrupted wealth generate an additional plus 50 undead growth, if you will. But there you go. I mean, that is for the undead faction and all that. Magia, even though you all have like, there's some things that they have included even if you do not have the expansion packs. Though to be honest, all the necessary like features that those expansion packs give you, you're not gonna find in this, and you're not gonna find the races of the undead. You're not gonna find, that is, you're not gonna find the class undead, so you're not gonna see the undead race, if you will. You're not gonna find hobbits, should I say halflings. You're not gonna find, of course, the frostlings nor tigrants. So there is that. Nor probably all the other gameplay elements like patron system and all the stuff like that, or cosmic thing, well, cosmic thingies that tend to happen on the map. Anywho, so expander, that's what they give you. In the last explorer, I mean, he's a Conan. We are role-playing as Conan as when he becomes a king of Aquilonia, and he is again from the exploration, of course. Explorer give you your cities and boats have an additional plus 1 vision ratio. That's a huge motherfucking thing, but it goes with the role-playing elements of what he truly is. Thank you very motherfucking much. So there you go. I mean, it's a perfect look of the Conan as he is like portrayed by Robert E. Howard, and of course blue-eyed and all that, and of course lion, which kind of really goes with the Conan lion. Then his ornamental, all that armors and just goes perfect with him, of course, with the blue and all that. So let's finally begin and enter our first part. It's not gonna be lasting like, there's gonna be additional 58 minutes or something, but not really. So let's start. Oh man, you know, talking does take a bit of energy. So Conan, Lion of Aquilonia, begins. Human warlord, your rise to power begins, and this is of course our crest with golden lion, and of course the blue thing. Aquilonians always had that blue thing for them, so there is that. And finally we begin, and of course amazing music in the background. I kind of lowered it now, but when I usually do render, before I render the videos, when I edit them, I kind of up my voice and the sound, and it just works wonders. So there you go, we begin here. The city is called Anve, Throne of Conan, of course, understandable. On the left side you can get all the beautiful additions to what you can build, from of course your unit tab to the building tab to, of course, you can see the city options. You can release it as a vassal, which gives you of course reaches the city as loyal, independent vassal. The city will still give you your trade income, but will no longer be under your direct control. We're not gonna, of course, do it. This is our throne city. You have the crown of Aquilonia right there. So there is that. Existing, this is what you actually already have. It's a throne city. This is where your leader, when he dies, that's where he reappears. I don't know if there's an additional stuff it gives you. Like if it's specifically, if you change throne cities, maybe they give you maybe some kind of a boost to something and all that. We already have wooden walls, which is always a good thing. Though to be honest, in Age of Wonders, since the Age of Wonders 2, they have the ability anybody can actually penetrate the gates without needing of the battering rams and other siege equipment, like compared to Age of Wonders 1, when you but it was very much needed to do anything against anything. You cannot capture any kind of a, for instance, a fort that is a fort that of course has any kind of walls, or city that has any kind of walls. You cannot capture without at least one unit that can actually breach walls or gates specifically. Doesn't really matter at this point. Of course, Age of Wonders 2, Age of Wonders 3, Shadow Magic, they have the ability to, any unit can break down the gates, not every unit can break down the walls and all that good stuff. Of course, you have units that can wall climb, so they can just put the ladders and you can go up and rape and pillage the children. But good stuff indeed. Of course, you have the flying units that don't give a fuck and all that stuff. So let's begin again. As I said, this is the beginning of it. We have, of course, on the right side, we have the hero that offers to join. We have Berta the Iron Will, a level 1 warrior, wants to join your force. Why the hell not? Join me. Indeed, we have, of course, our gold income is right here. This minus 74 upkeep for whatever we have now, right now, that is. Good stuff, right? We have the mana, and tells you the mana income base and city mana income. Plus 500, I think it's just a base income. Beyond that, if you have too much mana, it's gonna spill out, so to speak. So that's your, at the moment, capacity is 500. There you go. I think it's like additional 100 if you play as a mage. You get that's max 600 and good stuff like that. So this is a knowledge income. You need knowledge to research stuff. The more knowledge you gain, the better it is. Like women, not really. Casting points, of course, the casting points for your hero, or just on specifically on the map, dependable. I think the hero actually comes with more. This is specifically for the map casting. No, with your lady each turn. Okay, so 20. Understandable, I guess. Not really. Of course, you can see the show the talents that tell you exactly what she has on her. She's a beautiful lady. Is she a lady? I don't know. These are Germans. So hell's best. You can see the health points on her, 55. You can see the movement point, 36. She has 11 defense from conventional weapons, and of course against magic, 8. Beyond that, you can get a casting spell of 15. Mind you, the warlords, of course, they are just warriors. They don't really have the capacity of being the greatest, but you can upgrade. Bestow the Iron Heart, which is a very nice addition, which heals your friendly unit, plus gives it defense against the Dark Arts by 1 and defense against any kind of normal weapons. It's until the end of the combat. It's not like it lasts a few turns or stuff like that, because this is very important, as your priests actually have this thing. Outside combat, this ability will heal 15 health points among all valid units in the stack after the combat, like outside combat. I mean, this is really good stuff. This is like sex, but not with drugs. Good stuff. Machine and undead units, of course, can never be healed by this ability. Can only be used once per battle. Of course, she has the heavy crossbow. She does a 15 damage with that. Understandable. 15 damage in melee. There you go. Walking. You can see all the beautiful things. Now, this is the thing that I really love, which they actually kind of removed. Well, they completely removed in Age of Wonders 2 and Age of Wonders Shadow Magic. This was non-existent. This was this is specifically like in original Age of Wonders 1, where you had these amount of skill sets and all the beautiful stuff that you can down the line get even more, which is really beautiful. I never liked the Age of Wonders 2 system, the way they did it, but Hell's Bell still, it's an amazing game. So there is that. So cavalry, of course. high mobile units that can outmaneuver their enemies and of course charge at them to deal the extra damage. Cavalry are especially effective against archers whose range advantage is negated by the superior movement capability of the mounts. Of course she is a hero and all heroes come with the mounts. You can actually change them to the new mounts if need be when you actually find them on the enemies, in enemy caves or on the enemy heroes and stuff like that. So there is that beautiful thing. I mean, things do change, not everything though of course, but still on the hero and around the hero. Of course charge because again she is well, not actually, some units do have a charge, doesn't really matter if you have the damnable mount or not, but there you go. Deals 6 damage on a first strike in melee combat if the unit has moved 3 or more hexes this turn. This includes the hex that's being attacked, so there you go. Hero, of course, here command troops in the battle for greater efficiency and they're able to cast spells. Amazing. I did not know this, now probably you do. Of course, fast healing, the unit regenerates +6 per turn. We have the orc, she's an orc, and of course it gives you exactly what the orcs really are. The bonuses and the good stuff. They have the night vision and victory rush because they're actually like that. And of course you can see the night vision +2 vision range that is underground. A victory rush, the unit loves fighting and loves winning, usually probably loses, but that's okay. It heals 10 health at the end of the battle if victorious, manja. Of course. I mean, if she loses, she's gonna die, and we lose that hero. There is no, you're not gonna get her back, probably. Of course, the mountain enables to charge, but also makes it susceptible to skills and ability to affect mounted units, like pike people that are better against mounted units. Armored, of course, because she is armored, the unit has +2 armor, but it's susceptible armor piercing. And there is that. So we of course will take her because you always need heroes, though you do not need heroes to lead the armies. You can take a bunch of armies, manage a maximum of 6 units per stack compared to the 8 units in the Age of Wonders 1 and 2. They changed that to kind of lower the amount because the battlefields are, I mean, kind of smaller than the Age of Wonders 2, but not really, but they are kind of smaller than the Age of Wonders 2 even, which kind of really became smaller compared to Age of Wonders 1, which had really big freaking battlefields of glory, like women, like glory. Of course, again, Age of Wonders 1 is a magnificent, like, game. It's just a... Mwah. But anywho, so we got finally that beautiful woman. She's an orc. It doesn't really matter per race, but I don't think it does, at least when you what you lead and all that. It's not like in Heroes of Might and Magic where you constantly gain negative morale because you have a specific death unit in a life fucking with a life hero or some kind of a crap like that. There is of course a morale system, as you can see here. On your normal 25. And now that affects the chance of critical strikes and fumbles. So they can fuck up when they can do a critical strike. And this is very important because you will notice that. You can see a happy face, you can see a sad face. Sad face is in red, happy face is always in green. Imagine that. Very unhappy units may desert even. This is great, this is beautiful stuff. Do remember, every unit has an upkeep, and upkeep is very important of course in the game, I think. Maybe, who knows. So Hell's Bells. Of course, there you go, we have that beautiful thing. We actually do have 2 human settlers, which again, I do like the addition when, now in previous games, in in Age of Wonders 1, you always had the description of what unit does, and it wasn't the greatest description of all time. But in Age of Wonders 2 they removed it until Age of Mothers Shadow Magic, where they re-added the massive description about each unit and each faction and all that bullcrap, which is really of course nice because I like the lore text. It's need to because I really enjoy the world of Age of Wonders, even though I cannot remember the exact name of the world at the moment. It escapes me for some fucking reason. But Hell's Bell, Valley of Wonders for the win. There you go. So again, you can really read if you're interested in the lore of everything. I'm not going to read everything, but we will read everything at some point. For now, we're going to just introduce what the units we have. So this is the founder of the city, which can found outposts, rebuilds the city, which will match the settlers' race. Rebuild a raised city, restores 50% of the original population, restore any salvageable city upgrades, and gives 50 race happiness. That's a normality for everything, I guess. And there you go. Labor, because of course, laborers are unsuited for combat situations, but are invaluable for managing and expanding your empire of chaos. Of course, we're playing as Conan the Barbarian, but just Conan the King of Aquilonia, which means he's a lion of awesome. That means he is just not giving shit, he's a good guy. We're gonna try and get people to join us in peace, not in death, unless they're douchebags, then we rape the living shit out of their children. Fire weakness, of course, and all that. Now again, these are your settlers. You do not want to lose your settler. They are kind of expensive, I think. Let's see if they are expensive, demon. Maybe you're lying, demon. I don't know. We cannot at the moment get the settler because we need a bunch of different things. Because at the moment, this is a human village, right? It tells you exactly what it is. It tells you the population and the growth. You can actually gain, we have to build some housing down the line because the population kind of gets, or it gets bigger, but you're not gaining the population you needed to expand the borders of your empire. This is very important. Very, very important. So current population is 3,500, population growth 325. Needed to grow 6,000. That's 8 turns left for us to grow by the natural order of things, if you will. Now, let's see, we can build a bunch of stuff, barracks, we can build shrines, additional mana. Barracks, of course, give you, unlocks infantry and archer units for the city. It tells you the cost, the production cost, and how many turns you're gonna wait. It leads to, of course, to the additional new stuff like shooting grounds for your archers, which gives you ability to build archers and stuff like, the upgrade archer or something. Shooting grounds for something. That's for something else. We're gonna see it because we'll be needing barracks, of course, because unlocks human archer, unlocks human longswordsman, which of course you will need. A war hall and arena and the good stuff like that. So we're gonna see them down the line exactly what they had, but you can actually right click on this, you open the Tome of Wonders, and it actually tells you exactly what it leads to, what it does, what they are, how do you touch those women. You do not know, but they will tell you at some point. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. So again, we will not build it at the moment. We'll build, I usually go with the storehouse because additional, just to rush a little bit onto that population, gives you plus 100 pop. To be honest, as we at the moment, we have a lot of units. We start with a lot of units. As you can see, we get a bunch of 2 priests, which can kill your units. They have that iron heart also. You left click on them and you actually can see their model, which again, I do really love. Models in this game look amazing, to be honest, really sexy like a beast. They have a spirit rate, which gives you spirit damage, and then of course some units are kind of susceptible for that spirit damage, which is great. Of course, you can say the range, the medium can trigger up to 3 times, so like a normal thing you can utilize on green. You have the yellow, you have the red, and then you just shoot once if you're in the red color thingy. Arcing shot, minus 50% line of sight penalty. There you go. Now mind you, in this one you do not have the ability to hurt your own units with this type of stuff compared to Age of Wonders 1 and 2. In Age of Wonders 1 and 2 you can actually utilize archers and actually strike your own men, your own units from behind. In Age of Wonders 3 they just give you a line of sight penalty. By 50%, I think it's just usual penalty. So there is that, but still, instead of course hurting your own units. Of course, does less damage at long range, cannot be used while unit is engaged. Of course, again, bestows Iron Heart, which is very good stuff to have alongside your units, in all honesty. Just a very needed stuff. It's a support type of unit, because it gives you kind of, you need to know this because there are buildings which give pluses and upgrades and ranks on the support units. If you want to build specific support unit, you have the specific additional building which gives you immediately to begin as a trooper instead of recruit, because there are levels for each unit in the game. The more you handle them, the better they become. It's of course, this list tells you exactly what they gain as a trooper, what they gain as a veteran, expert, elite, and champion. Some units can evolve from when they hit a certain rank, like for instance cavalryman. The human cavalryman can actually evolve into probably a knight, which is really great. I like that addition very much, and in the previous also Age of Wonders 2 they had the same method of things. The ranking system was always this in the Age of Wonders 1, but the upgrade, the look of the unit and all that, and maybe just upgrades to a specific thing, I think it's from Age of Wonders 2 or Shadow Magic. But Hell's Bells, I can't really know that because I never really finished them. But Hell's Bells, you know it probably. Demon doesn't know it. So again, he has a true sight, seeing concealed and invisible units. So it's nice to have them in around in enemy. Probably, we're playing goblins, so they probably have something that is very small and invisible, like penis, but it's okay. Devout units deal 3 damage against heretic unit and is affected by certain types of abilities, spells, and effects. Unholy Champion, Holy War, and all the good stuff. Spirit Protection, 60% against Spirit Damage. 11 damage against resistance, and 9 damage against defense against the people that club you with their hands. So that's a tier 2 unit, mind you. It doesn't really tell you what, but it has an upkeep of 8 gold. But it's a tier 2, and it's a very important one. It's tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 unit. Tier 4 is the max unit that you can get. And those are really big monstrosities like Killer Giants, Stone Giant, Fire Giants, Ice Giants, dragons of unimaginable sexiness and power. Understandable. So of course you also have Halberdiers, we have a beautiful human archer, we have the human civic guard, which is your peasantry with bow and crossbow. It is like a little crossbow, light crossbow, and it has a little beard and a hat. There, it's a light crossbow. It does 11 damage, range medium straight shot, 70% line of sight penalty. Does less damage with long range, of course, understandable, and all the good stuff. It's a regular unit, which is kind of unique unit on any, like, they're specifically unique units for specific faction, I'm thinking. Irregular units are a diverse class of units that possess unique abilities. Regulars often fulfill multiple roles in an army and possess abilities that can play key roles in battle. Now when it comes to these guys, I'm not a fan of them, but they're very cheap. They're very cheap. Volunteer, as you can see, minus 50% upkeep for them. If you have like an army of these, you wouldn't worry much about the upkeep at the end of the day. Look at this, it's 2 gold pieces. 2 gold pieces, but they're not the greatest at the end of the day. Like they only left the 8 damage with this, and of course they can actually level up. As you can see exactly what they gain. Sometimes like they gain, even on elite they gain a first strike ability, for instance. It's not hard to level up your units, but still it's an amazing thing when you do level them up and when you do keep them alive. So of course we have the beautiful human halberdier. I really always loved how much detail these models really have. We're playing in the highest settings and all that bullshit, but I really love the amount of detail and the actual faces actually looking like normal human fucking faces. And I always kind of went with the point that this is more to Warhammer universe, close to it, but in all honesty it's bullshit. It's its own universe, of course, and it has its own thing, but I like how they feel like models on tabletop and all the good stuff like that. So again, they are halberdiers. They're kind of weaker than the human sorcerer, not really the human swordsman. They're weaker than the human swordsman, but still they have a pike square, which gives you a +3 additional protection against flying and mountain units. As a polearm, of course, deals +4 damage against mountain and flying units. Understandable right there. You're only pikeman kind of a thing. The first strike ability, understandable again, that the units attacks first when defending against the enemy, so they do a first attack and then they gonna attack, and then they do it again attack, maybe not, who knows, unless the attack unit also has a first strike, manager. Well, most units do not have a first strike ability, it's good for you, I guess. It's a pikeman, of course. Due to the long range of Deer's weapon, pikemen are very effective against mountain units. Their superior attack range and also gives the pikeman first strike ability, of course. So overwhelm this +3 damage against pikemen and shielded units, which is always good. And there, of course, a walking unit is a walking unit, a swimming unit is a swimming unit, but you understand the gist of it. And that's, of course, a tier 1 unit. And of course we have the beautiful arrow people. I like these guys. To be honest, if you play as a dreadnought class, you gain a fucking musketeers. We're not playing as a dreadnought class, so these guys are gonna be kind of our mainstay unit of awesome. But else bells, there you go. These are your just regular crow archers of the 6th century. But still, this is a 3rd age of infamy, I think. Yeah, this is a 3rd age, if you will, in this game where people are just fighting each other like nobody's bitch. I mean, the humans are actually the bad race in this game. Well, they are usually always a bad race, but you know, like compared to most, they are actually the bad guys in this universe. They are always the one more assertive. They always want more lands. They always like blame others for their own shit. They're Hitler of the fucking universe. But that's okay. You know, elves are awesome in this game, especially now they're high elves compared to the dark elves and the wood elves. When they joined finally, they're now all again high elves like in the time of Inyok. But the elves of elves. So they're the wood elves, yeah, wood elves and dark elves. Yeah, it's kind of split, but there's bells. You know, these guys are dark. You can't be racist about all these things. You can't be fucking racist about these things. But again, it's an archer. They again lack strong defensive capabilities. They possess very powerful range attack. As a result, archers are most effective when they're being protected from enemy troops by your other units. Understandable. And of course, they're armored, which is you know, like not every unit is an armored unit, I think. So there is that. Again, it has 2 shielding, but it's acceptable to armor piercing. Again, 8 damage with the bow, 35 health point, 28 movement points, understandable, because most regular units can see 28, while you have the Cav, which gives you a little bit more than that. And there is the human cavalry tier 2, which can actually evolve, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they can evolve. When this unit reaches the gold medal rank, it evolves, so that's a champion, into the human knight. That's a tier 3 unit, Cav, 70, so it goes from 55 health point to 70, which is human. Looks awesome. First and foremost, looks sexy like a beast. Of course, and they have you get the melee of 16 damage compared to a 12 here. So that's sexy like a beast. Plus, if they evolve, I think they actually, I don't know what's gonna happen then. I don't know honestly. So sorry, that's elite. Champion is after that. So when they evolve after elite, they get inflict bleeding wounds, right? And then they become a knight, which means that then they only have like champion after that, and that's it. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check, because if we're playing, if we had a knight, like a unit that is a knight, I would like to see the exact upgrades for them, level upgrades. So would be very interested to see exactly how that's gonna go. So it's again a mounted unit. Let's see what is a charge. I mean, it says the same as your damnable hero that we have here, the Orcish hero, which is the same goddamn thing. Anyway, of course, she also has the mind control immunity, so the other players cannot take control of this unit using mind control abilities such as charm, convert, to dominate, which is a good thing considering that they are fucking heroes and could probably kill everyone, which would be a very bad mojo. So what I have to say is really that graphically the game is going to be amazing in 50 years from now. The 2D trees really go well with the entire feel of it. I really like that. And of course you have the mana nodes, you have the beautiful gold, and the beautiful sound effects when you pick up something is just sexy like a beast. Let me see, what can I utilize here? So, you know what, we could go immediately into the first battle while I'm talking like a little bastard here. We're gonna utilize Conan the Barbarian, which is Conan the King here. He could mix up with maybe one. Let's see, what does Conan have? I don't want Civic Guards to be my main thing with the Conan, my god. Of course, they like that we're in a fertile plains, because always nice and green. If it wasn't something bad, it would be nice and bad. So we're gonna be joining up with something. Let's see, I'm gonna keep the Knight, I'm gonna the Cav, the normal human Cav, the light Cav if you will, the human longsword. We're gonna stay, we're gonna not like that. We're gonna be getting them out and joining onto this beautiful army. So again, I wanna keep like this. We're gonna be keeping these beauties, so we're gonna get them out, because there is a close by, there is an evil thing. There's a very evil thing that we have. First and foremost, we can immediately capture these ancient ruins, which are strong defenses. It's a treasure site. Explore these ruins for knowledge and items of glory. When explored, add +10 knowledge, and when located within your domain. And soon we're gonna be gaining this domain a little bit up and sexy up. So there is that. So what we want to do here is get one priest. I want one priest, and I want a I want to help a deer, you know, like I want to help a deer like that. And let's see, why not the one archer? Like two priests are not bad, but having at least one thing that can shoot from a distance would be a good thing. But though, to be honest, our hero does start with a heavy crossbow, so that his Conan start with a heavy crossbow. It's a good thing, of course, but not gonna huge chunk of damage. Still, it's more, to me, preferable to have more additional archers, though they are kind of tricky to keep alive in the end of the day. So because we have done that there, you can also mix heroes within the armies, but the thing is, they're always the secondary hero. You're not, as you see, this is your hero and all the good stuff, but they are secondary heroes. They could help quite a bit at the very start. They can also level up quite a bit, but still I prefer to keep them in, like, they lead their own armies. Do not mix the heroes and all that stuff. So what we shall be doing with this beautiful lady Berta, we're gonna be moving on to get that beautiful stash of gold. Usually that's like 500 gold pieces, and I'm lying like a dog actually. I'm 74 gold pieces. Thank you very much. Picked up that beautiful thing. Hold the left click, you can actually move your camera, which I really like. It's kind of a smooth transition and all that. So again, you have the movement points. When you go through certain locations, like of course the tree areas or the mountains, everything requires, well, it tells you exactly how much movement cost it's gonna cost. You have the 6 movement cost right? 4 movement costs on a fertile plains. Inside the dense vegetation it's 6, so again she's gonna waste quite a bit to move everywhere. So let's move her a little bit and explore. Okay, Logano. Okay, before us lies Logano, twin city of Anagol. These twin cities, of which there are many here, are linked by fate and ancient magic. When one is captured, the other is destroyed. Which honestly, I do want to get close to them as best so I can immediately conclude an alliance of some sort, because we need to actually get a little bit closer than that. Because we need someone to tell us that we need to get a little bit closer than that. Okay, you have the 28 movement points. Let's get the close, because I want to talk them in this turn. I want to talk with these bastards. If we're gonna go with peace thing and keep us being a good guy here, okay, as you can see here, we're not gonna trespass, we're gonna negotiate. And there you go. Again, tells you exactly population they are. They're independent, in relation, respectful and neutral. Hail, great Conan Lion of Aquilonia. We are honored with your visit. Let's go negotiate with them. Okay. So we would agree to open our border and sign a peace treaty with you in exchange for 72 gold pieces. Okay, so let us open our border and sign a peace treaty, and you can actually give you the alignment and relations to the specific race and of course to the specific town. You're prepared to be destroyed, and you can get the bad alignment, get the bad relation and race happiness. As a humans, they're not gonna say, "Yay, demon, you're great." No, we're not. So we're gonna be awesome about it. We're gonna be true Conan and say, if you want to join, we're gonna join us, and that's actually quite the easy possibility. Usually you have to do one more quest after we wait a few turns, and then after a few more turns, they can actually join you as a vassal city or something like that. Now, considering this is a mirror thing, I hope this is gonna actually work. I want to go with peace. Okay, I'm gonna sign a peace treaty. That means we can actually move into their areas, do whatever we really want inside. But that's about, they have their own standing armies and all stuff like that. Let's move down the road. As you can see, again, it's just if you have roads, it's gonna really help out in the movement department. It's not gonna just go over the rough ground, but you actually cost quite, well, doesn't really cost quite a bit to move around. Okay, let's move down with the civic artsmen. Thank you very much. Cannot capture that at this one. It costs 4 movement. And onto to get this beautiful watchtower, which would give us a huge insight as to what is happening all around. We need also the 4 movement points, which we do not have at the moment. Okay, yeah, we cannot even reach with these beauties. That's fine. So on the bottom we actually have our ally, which are the dwarves. We have, of course, him right there, Baradir the Bold, and he has his dwarven units, which are very beautiful. We're not gonna look at them. We're not gonna look at them unless we're fighting them, because I want to keep that kind of let's see the look of them, the models of them. We're gonna keep that for some other point. So again, Village Lugano has opened their borders and made peace with you, which you can right click and just gonna remove that immediately. Okay, we met them. Capture Lugano. We shall do that. Protect your leader in the throne city. That's your specific allied victory we have, and defeat all rival empires. Okay, so we've done kind of at that point. We're gonna select a skill to research, and these skills are always random, except specific ones, I think. But that is, this basic seafaring is always there from what I've noticed. The whatever that upgrades your spell casting points is always there at your first level. These are, as you can see, these are your specific like empire upgrades. You have the battle upgrade, strategic battle, strategic spell like Hell's Bells. It leads to produce berserkers. If you go research raise militia, you kind of gain a different type of units. For instance, you get like a hunters, the stuff like the monster hunters, which really look fucking amazing. If you look at them, they're just mind-blowingly sexy looking units. And again, as you can see, there are levels: level 1, level 2. The more they are, they cost more time to more research. And of course, we're gonna go with specifically. I always go with warfare, whatever gives you more casting points, considering, right? So we at the moment only have 20. We're gonna get plus 10, allowing you to cast more spells per turn. Also increase mana capacity by plus 1. There you go. By plus 100 for the full. So we're gonna, instead of 500 we've seen that we have as a max, we're gonna go to 600. Excellent. Let's go immediately. That's gonna 2 turns and 60 research points. Excellent. So now we have 6 units. That's your max amount of units. And let's get to our first battle, which of course will be the ever so amazing, the Ancient Ruins. I think it's always different what you get out of them, and it's always different who is actually defending them. Even doesn't matter if you're playing the scenario and all that, unless of course you have certain stuff on the map like the mana stash or gold stash. It's always gonna be there, so there is that. Okay, so let's press on our beautiful Conan, and let's press again, and we can actually enter them ruins, and we shall enter them ruins immediately. Okay, so yeah, okay, so that's definitely a little bit different from what I remember. We get actually a baby spiders, tier 1 unit. There you go, baby spiders. They're baby, mind you. They're not the big boys of the group. They have a melee strike of 7, and they do 4 poison damage. They have 9 the resistance against magic, 9 against regular, and 33 health, 36 movement. That's quite a bit of a movement compared to any of mine, which was 28. That's quite a bit. Webbing touch attempts to web a target enemy unit. Webbed units cannot take any action. Now, as you can see, 11 here. Now, I think that specifically defense against this. So if your unit's defense is 11, that's okay, I guess. But below 11 and all that, they're gonna get webbed. Probably bigger chance of webbing, that is. They have a cave crawling, which is nice, of course. Improve wall climbing. Can climb wall, of course. Evolving, you go into Hunter Spider Queen, but that's a tier 3 unit, but it needs quite a bit of a level, I guess, to get to that point. But Hellspell, that's what it evolves into, the queen. God damn it, it goes for a little tiny little spider, and then it goes like a queen, like bitch. It's of course animal. Animals have a natural affinity with the wild. Wild civilizations regard animals as inferior creatures. Their ability to survive in wilderness is unrivaled. Animals move faster and can attune themselves better to their environment, especially in forestry areas. Not really. Protect, of course, blight protects, considering that the motherfucker is utilizing blight also. It does have a protection against blight. Okay, so that's that. But that's not the thing I'm worrying about. So we have 2 of those, Hunter Spider Baby, and we also have an ogre tier 3 monster. This is an ogre, an evil giant unit. It's a giant. According to the ancient scripture, the giant can help the All-Father from the continents, with fire giants directing the flow of molten rock, the rock giant shaping the solid rock, and the storm giants giving the lands their final polish through erosion. The Titans were the masters of the giants, and they oversaw the work of their kin, until the giants rebelled. Now giants are rarely seen, and they keep mostly to themselves. They can sometimes be rallied behind the cause, though, often with devastating results. So it's a monster. While monsters come in wide variety of forms, people have found a surprisingly simple way to describe every single one of them. Terrifying and deadly. Mountaineering, understandable I guess. Wall crushing, night vision, does 21 damage. Can trigger up to 3 motherfucking times. 3 times 21 of fucking damage. Can't trigger magic, but it's all dependable. But still, if they are close, if they waste huge chunk of their movement, they can only do. If they waste all their movement, they can attack you once, and if they don't, if they're in green, they're gonna attack you 3 times. So you can get fucked in the ass hard. So 11 protection and 9 against resistance, 66 health points. There's gonna be the specific thing we're gonna be attacking when we can and if we can. And thankfully we do have a priest who's gonna pretty much heal us. Though, because we are attacking this specific point, we're gonna have a mass curse. Curses all enemy units on the battlefield. Cursed units suffer minus 300 morale or happiness, minus 2 on the regular defense, and minus 2 on the magic defense. Undead are unaffected by this spell. Imagine that. So you have a manual combat or auto combat. Cast spells in auto combat if you want to auto combat. You can actually say, you know, a body attack, let me think about this. Or you can just highlight the attack, which tells you exactly what this is actually happening if you don't know, which you would usually know if you actually are looking at the right part of the screen. And let's go into manual combat. It's going to be the end of the video. After we actually win. If we win. If we lose, I'm going to blame this on Conan the Barbarian. Because I'm not going to say, Conan, you're the king of the universe. You're not the king of anything anymore. Okay, skip combats, of course, this is just specific like intro sequence, if you will, introduction, and there you go, we begin, the pens are moving. Okay, to see they chose, instead of movement towards us, they chose to actually stand and guard their area where they are. Now, when game was released, of course I torrented, I'm a pirate for fuck's sake, and I tried out, they always pushed into you. I remember they patched that, and now sometimes they can actually, when they're defending, they're supposed to stay in the place and not move towards you. They're asking you to move towards them. But before that really was patched, you just stay where you are and they will be coming towards you every goddamn time. That 100% always the same. So they patch that crap out. Is finally they say, you know what, you come towards us, demon, or should I say Conan. So here is Conan, morale low, -120. We are cursed, but again, it's for everyone, so that's a good thing, right? Is it for everyone? I hope it's for everyone, because it's not for everyone. Demon is kind of sad. There you go. Morale is normal. Morale is horrible. I guess they just don't care because they're just, again, regular creatures of darkness, neutral bullcraps, so they don't give a fuck. Okay, doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter if the morale is bad. I think if I do get a little bit of, oh yeah, he's just a warlord. He doesn't have many good spells, right? Yo, he does have a blast. And there you go. We have a blast, which is a good spell. Blast target friendly unit. Blast units have +2. Again, we get all that fucking thing back. +300 of happiness. This is great if we're gonna utilize it immediately. It costs 5 casting and 5 mana. I could actually use that to help us quite a bit in this combat. Of course, we have a Holy Cure, which restores 25 health to target from the unit, which is great because I'm gonna immediately drop blast on specific unit that I'm gonna count on. And that's gonna be, let's go, Halbert. You're gonna be great for this. Let me see who would be. I'm gonna drop it firstly on him. That is on Conan. Blast. Let's see. He's kind of now in normal, 75 normal, better than being completely -100 or some 300 or whatever, right? So it's much better. We are much better situation now than we were before. So we are cursed and blessed. Unbelievable, imagine that. So we have human archers right here. Let's see, so I first want to get rid of the hunter babies because, you know, they're the small thing. You want to get rid of them first. I usually... but you can actually try maybe concentrate on the big kahuna burger, which are the ogres. They are gonna do a massive damage. You can, if you of course left click, you can see how fast you're gonna, well, they're ranged to where you can move. They only have 30 movement, against better than any of our normal units. Now of course 36 on our mounted units, well it's 28 on everybody else. So again, we have to be careful about that. Okay, so this is the first phase. Do remember, you see green, yellow, and red, orange, or whatever. That's the amount of strikes you can actually do. So if they were right here, if the damnable spider people were right there, we would be able to attack them 3 times. 3 times. If we were in yellow, 2 times. Orange, once. We would be able to attack them. Or they will be able to retaliate, I guess, maybe. No, retaliation doesn't give a shit about that. But in general attack, that's how it works. Okay, so we have Cav. I want to protect for now. I have only 2 ranged units. That is the archers. We move immediately up front. Thank you very much. And see, we have a lot of longsword. I want to keep as many units as possible alive in this position. That is on the starting point of the game. Because the more I can keep them, the less I have to buy more. So there is that. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and see our beautiful models. Of course, you can utilize a different toggle view. You can do it like this. Actually see all behind all the evil columns. We have the halberd people. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a boost up front. Thank you very much, just for in case. We have keep these guys alive. Flanking is very important in the game, so I'm gonna try and flank out the crap out of the enemies. We cannot anymore move because we utilize the spell. The moment you utilize the spell, it removes all. Well, the moment you utilize the attack, you lose all the movement points. Everything goes on that one attack. Keeping the beautiful human priest behind, maybe. I think the best thing is to lure the enemy with your hero. Conan should be luring them a little bit. Let's get our beautiful longsword like this. Now hold the right click, which is the movement option, and move onto the side they want to face, because as I said, it's very important to which they're facing. They can get outflanked. This time they're just looking straight into the enemy, and this is very important, of course. Outflanked units get the massive damage upon them. Okay, so for as there is no time limit, I can just end this and see how this is gonna be for us. Okay, there I can choose. Okay, that's good. That's okay. Again, let's see. Okay, so this is how close I can really screw myself around with. Yeah, they will get touched by these bastards. So I'm gonna move the. Depending on, can I actually reach them well? Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? Move you and lure the enemy towards us, or we could get to this location. Let me just check the ogres. How close can you get? Okay, So I can move to this location without ogres totally damaging the living shit out of me. Let's get the halberds up front, like this. And let's see if I can reach these bastards. Also, no, you can't. As you can see, these smaller circles that tell you exactly how much. So you need a little bit two movement more to actually reach these bastards. You see? Still nothing. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that for now. We're gonna leave it at that. Let's move a little bit here. Get here behind the rock with the priests. And let's see again. Bless immediately whom? Exactly. Well, we'll go with the halberds first and foremost. Now they're kind of better. Instead of being sad and morale. Again, low morale can fuck you up heavily. And especially now we're fighting a tier 3 unit. That's a tier 3 motherfucking ogre. That's a difficult thing usually to kill. So we're gonna be trying to avoid death as much as possible. Okay, the Cav... You know what I'm gonna do with the Cav? You know what I'm gonna do with the Cav? Cav can come to the side here and can help us out. So that means they're kind of blocking our way if we want to try and help with a hero, but for now we're okay. So if they move, we'll see. We will know that specifically. And we can run away a little bit and then do some bad mojo upon the enemy. Okay, stay where you are. Okay, let's see if we bestow Iron Heart. +1, +1, +1, +1, +15. For now I'm gonna keep it alive. Let's end this and see how this is gonna go. Okay, they still don't give a shit about me. Okay, I like that. I like when people don't give a crap about me. Move a little bit here. Oh, we can actually go from this side also. So this is pretty much an open map for us to do. Okay, you can see these arrows. That means you can actually fall back and run away if need be. Okay, so you know what? Again, this is like the only way for them to move. This little opening here, which is very nice, very nice. Which is very, very nice. Okay, well, we can utilize the halberds over here and lure the enemy appropriately. Okay, beautiful. And from the sides we'll be able to open on these bastards if need be. And now you can see you have the range penalty of -50%. Understandable, as we need to get a little bit closer to really do the massive damage and to do a proper damage. Again, we are arcing the living crap out of this, but again, it's a goddamn, you know, like, it's a goddamn damnable thing, which is, you know, like, they're fucking bows. They're not fucking crossbows, but I don't know, anyway. 3 to 4 damage 3 times. So that's, so again, 3 health. Again, not much of a choice, being that it's our first battle of glory. But again, I'm gonna try and do this properly. See these bastards, I want to try and split them up a little bit. I'm gonna get our long swordsmen over to this location. Yeah, they will be able to attack. As you can see, press on this, you can see they actually can attack them once. This is the max movement they can go. If the ogres move, they can only attack our archers once. Okay, so let's see. Let's get our hero now onto the side, because I want to try and lure those fuckers to the sides now. Okay, let's get a little bit... Oh, wait, we have a blast thing, right? Let's utilize blast immediately while we are there. A blast on you, because maybe they're gonna get a little bit boost in critical, even though, again, it's just a normal morale now, but still. Let's see how this is gonna go. There you go, 4, 4, 4. Nothing really massive damage, understandable. And he wasted all the movements in there, that's it. So if they get close, they're gonna get close, and it's gonna be a GG for them. But the good thing, if they do move, I can do a side attack with the cav right here. Let's move a cav over here. Overlook this area, thank you very much. Let's get our beautiful human priests right behind our archers. If we're not gonna run away, and even if we wanted to, I mean, we can't. They're gonna get completely annihilated by the enemy. Okay, great. That's it. That's all I want to do. And let's see. They're definitely going to be attacking the next one, man. They can definitely be attacking the next one. If they get too much close to them, they're going to say, you know what? Yeah, it's time. Okay, so they're going for our cav. Webbed. Resisted. Good. Okay, wow. Holy shit. Oh, whoa, nice. Resisted. Okay. As you can see, they actually watched, so they opened their flanks quite a bit. There you go. Excellent. Now, as you can see, this, what happens when you attack the enemies from specific sides, this specific point, they turn around towards that point. So you can actually kind of lure that flank to your advantage. So that's nice. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm gonna drop immediately the last blast I can do. I'm gonna do on our cab, of course. I hope I did not have that on the cab, but there you go. So you see that these guys are kind of open for an attack from the sides. No, they're not. No, these guys are not also. We see that it would say flanked, if possible. They can actually attack us from this location. I see yellow ore, so that means once we could be able to attack them. Okay, let's see. Can we do something that would be kind of a good? 10 to 16 damage, 55. Okay, 21 of 33, of course, understandably. At 33, we have 55. Again, a human cav is tier 2, right? Tier 2, yes. So in the end, he will be able to survive quite a bit. Or we can outflank them. You see, flanking, do a nice, beautiful damage, or we concentrate on these bastards. That's the question. That's the question. And now, because you see, flanking here, beautiful stuff, right? That means he will turn towards our halberdiers the moment we attack them. It's gonna give us an advantage of us running away, because we can't run away now. They're gonna have the attack of opportunity. You see the red little thingy, the red arrow? It's gonna tell you that they will be able to attack. This way, that is, the ogres turn away, and we'll be able to run away with our archers in a good, better position. And that way, of course, they're opening their asses towards other types of attacks. From priests, for instance, if we're going to concentrate on priests. So we're going to be attacking the flanking here. We're going to be 2 damaging on them. Or once. No, once, sorry. Once. It was in the orange area, so to speak. And see, they could not retaliate on that. Now we can actually run away a little bit. And attack once, maybe. Or twice. Let's go just twice. Right there, excellent. See, flanking or attack these. It's been like what, 7 to 11 2 times, 9 to 13 3 times. Well, 3 times then. Let's go. Beautiful job. Excellent. Beautiful job. And that's one best. Now, do not count. They actually still do a full damage. This is, you can look at these bastards like one model, not 5 or 3 in this case. So it's like still does a huge chunk of damage. Doesn't really matter how much health. It still does the full damage. So there is that. They just, you know, added a little bit more units so it looks like a massive battle. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit of tricky here. I'm kind of happy that I did the blasting, but still it could be a little bit of tricky. Now let's see, because I can try attack these. We're gonna get the retaliation, 10 to 16, and we can annihilate them completely. Let's do these guys first. It's the same thing anyway for us, so hell's bell. There we go, our swordsmen up onto the evil spider people. We can finish them off immediately. Thank you very much. So they're not gonna be the problem for us. Now again, we are expose our flanks towards them, so it's still, they're gonna do the beautiful fucking damage against our cav, which is gonna be kind of a problematic, but we'll see how they're gonna survive that. If they have 55 health, they should be able to survive. Again, it does 6 to 8. It might be just doing 6. Who knows? It's gonna go for them. And that's all. We really moved everyone except our archers. They actually did not open fire whatsoever. And we'll be able to actually kill outright one of the ogres. 6 to 8. Yeah, definitely would be able. 2 times they're dead. Well, give me a little bit of a level, maybe. No! Fuck! That's a bad thing. That's quite of a bad thing. Sadly, that's a kind of a bad thing. Okay, well, let's end this. I can't do anything anymore. No more beautiful points to spend, should I say. No more casting thingies. So let's enter and see how this is gonna go for us. I'm expecting to lose. Oh no, they're going for the swords people. Oh, they completely annihilated them. They chose well. They chose well. They chose very well. Well, I'm gonna flank the little bastards like here with Conan, the barbarian. Excellent job. And we seem they gained a goddamn level up, which you little bastards, you little bastards. Well, let's finish off the ogres from the sides. Thank you very much. You get a level on our beautiful, now they're troopers. Conan failed miserably, but we're gonna finish off with our cav. And that's it. We lost sadly one entire group of swordsmen, but fuck it. You know, like, I mean, I don't like losing swordsmen, but, you know, shit can happen. So as you can see, it tells you exactly what unit levels up. You get a trooper who gets +1 melee strength and +2 hit points on this halberdier. And that's it. We gain a lizard on a stick. It's an epically usable item. Spits poison a target enemy, and we gain 24 knowledge. Excellent. Okay, so it gives you exactly where to position it, and because the usable items are always positioning these portions, you of course you have the swords and sorcery, magic, and all the armors. All the good stuff is there, my friends. Anyway, wish you the very best next time. More love, more Age of Wonders goodness, and more stuff to deal with.